This is the level up section of Refractor, and the idea behind it is to get you solving the cube faster, but also to make yourself look like an expert at the Rubik's Cube. Because I think if you're going to do the routines that we've taught on here, I think you need to be able to solve the cube pretty quickly. I mean, you don't have to be a sub 20 speed cuber, but I think you've got to ideally be able to solve it in a minute or less. And I think it's important, because I think you really need to look like you know what you're doing with this object if you're going to be doing the tricks that we taught. But the good news is that all the techniques that I teach you on here are really easy, and if you've started to learn Refractor, then you'll find the techniques on here even easier, because you've already started to learn a few of them in the actual tutorials themselves on there. So the idea is to help you solve the cube using the beginner's method, but just get you quicker at doing it, quicker and more efficient as well. And I do this by teaching just a few finger tricks that all of a sudden, as I say, they make you look like an expert. If you can move the cube, pieces of the cube like that, people immediately look at that and go, oh wow, he obviously knows what he's doing. And then the good news is they're not hard, but they will help you solve the corners super quick. And I'll also give you a few hints on solving the white cross much quicker. And once you can solve that first layer quickly, after that it's all about quick algorithms, isn't it? So, and I'm not going to go into much detail about the second layer. I am going to later on do a video on how to solve it from one side rather than you turning the cube. But for the moment, I think the method that you're using, which is probably most of you will be using the one that Stephen Brundage teaches on Cube 3, which is the away, up, back, down, away, up, back, down. That's super quick. And if you can do it that quickly, most people can do that quite quickly anyway. Then I will also teach you how to solve the yellow layer quicker, because most people, again, they learn the two algorithms that you're taught in this, and it's the algorithm that you've got to repeat over and over again. And I'm going to teach you a few more algorithms so that you can solve it in two algorithms every time. The yellow layer will be solved in two algorithms every time. But again, the good news is that because of all the techniques that I've taught you in part one, it will make learning those algorithms super easy, because they all use the techniques that you've been learning, that you've learned anyway. And so that will speed you up. And finally, I will teach you a few more algorithms for the last layer. So again, I think most people only learn two algorithms and then you've got to repeat them over and over again. I will teach you another 4 on top of the ones you've probably learned already, and you'll be able to do be able to do it in 2 algorithms every time, and that will just speed up your cubing. I reckon Kev can do it, the beginner's method, without using any of this in around about 40 seconds. Now, he is a bit superhuman, but I believe that you should be able to get easily between 50 seconds and a minute once you learn these techniques. I reckon even faster, but just to be on the safe side, if you can solve the cube in under a minute, I think it looks good no matter what. And if you use the old blindfold, method, then it's fine to be able to solve the cube blindfolded in under a minute. I think once you start taking 2 to 3 minutes, then unless you're a very good performer, I think it starts to get a bit cringy and tedious. So hopefully this will help you speed you up. Please let us know how you get on with this, because Kev and I are really interested to hear whether this has actually been helpful to you. But without further ado, here is part 1 of Level Up. Now, there's one thing I totally forget to explain, and that is why I start from the bottom up. Because normally if you do the beginner's method, you start from the top and you'd solve the white cross, and then you'd get the corners, and then you turn it upside down to do the second layer. I do start straight away from the bottom. It's a far more efficient way of solving the cube, and there are loads of advantages. And if you carry on and learn the slightly more advanced methods, that's what they use. So I think you may as well start now, because it saves you the extra turn. And the other advantage that I really strongly feel that this has is that when you're solving them, you're not looking at the pieces that you've solved, which is a bit counterintuitive. You've already solved them, so you don't need to be looking at them. In this case, they're at the bottom, so that you've got all this turning space to look for the pieces that need to go to the bottom rather than the pieces that are already there. So that's why I feel there is a real advantage to that. And also it works really smoothly with the moves that I teach you. These moves wouldn't work if you were solving the cube this way round. But I highly encourage you to start solving it from the bottom anyway, because I think it's, as I say, it's a far more efficient way and a far quicker way of doing it. So that's why I solve it from the bottom up rather than from the top. To solve the cube faster, it is best to solve it from one side rather than constantly turning the cube. So this is the side that we're going to always start with, and it's vital that you know where all the colours are in relation to each other. For instance, white will always be at the bottom and will always be the first side that you solve. Yellow is always on top, and you'll notice that white and yellow are similar colours, and the similar colours are always opposite each other. The colour facing you will always be blue. The colour that's closest to blue is green, which is opposite blue at the back. Again, with blue in front, yellow on top, red will be on your right. Red on your right makes that easy to remember. And opposite red is orange, which is on your left side. Again, these colours are quite similar. So get those colours memorised. Blue in front, yellow on top, white on the bottom, orange on the left, red on the right, and finally green at the back. When you hold the cube, this is your default position, with the thumbs in front and 3 fingers at the back, one on each square, and the same on the other side. So this is your starting point for all the following videos. Now that you know the colour scheme, we're going to put that knowledge into practice. This video is all about solving the white cross underneath. The most important thing when solving the white cross is to know where your colours are. Blue in front, red on the right, orange on the left, and green on the back. Yellow isn't important for this. The only thing that's important is blue in front, red on the right, orange on the left, and green at the back. And to make this even easier to understand, I'm going to be using my practice cube. This cube only has stickers on the areas we need to focus on. The white cross underneath, the blue again in front, red on the right, orange on the left, and green at the back. So now you know your colours, let me teach you about good and bad edges. We start as usual with a blue in front. When solving the edge pieces, you have what's known as good and bad edges, which I'll explain now. We'll start with all the edges on top. All the edges on top are in fact good edges, which makes them very easy to solve. So these here are all good edges, which means they can be moved to the bottom where the white pieces need to go to form the white cross in one easy move. This is where the colour recognition comes into play, and as this white and blue piece is in the front, it can be turned straight down to the bottom where it needs to end up. It's just 2 quarter turns in the same directions, 1, 2, and in this case you'd actually call that one move, as it's one continuous turn. The red is on the right, on the side that it needs to be, and again brought down to the bottom in one easy move. The orange on the right, that also gets turned downwards to the bottom. And finally, the green back here, I angle the top towards me and with my first finger turn that slice to the bottom. And that solves the white cross. So let's say they're not in the correct position. So they're all back on top. To start with, ignore these centerpieces. These centerpieces are not important until right at the end. Remember your color scheme and make sure you have your white centerpiece at the bottom here. I start by looking at what's in front of me. In this case, the orange. I know the orange goes on my left, so I move the orange to the left and turn that slice so that the white ends up on the bottom. This red here, we know that the red goes on the right, so I move the top until the red is on the right side. And then simply turn that slice until the white is on the bottom. The red and orange edges are now in the correct place. I look back up top and notice the blue. The blue goes in front. All I need to do is turn the face 1, 2, and the blue is now at the bottom. Finally, this green here gets moved to the back. And if you want to do this efficiently with your hands in default position, you can turn the left and middle slice to the front, then use your first finger to get the green to the bottom, and then turn the middle and left slice back to starting position. Only now do you have to look at where the centerpieces are. I know the red goes to the right, so I turn in that direction, and now you'll see that everything is lined up perfectly. Next, we're going to tackle the good and bad edges on the side of the cube. If they are here, 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 or here. I've actually put them all on one side, and this shows you if the whites are on the sides, here and here, that means they are good edges. If they are at the top or bottom, here and here, that means they are bad edges. Now, a bad edge isn't as bad as it sounds. It just means that it takes one extra move to turn it into a good edge. Let's start with the good edges. The right one here, all I have to do is turn this one to the bottom, because that's where the white square is. So that's where this one needs to end up, and it's now in the correct place. And obviously, remembering our color scheme, the red is on the right, so it's exactly where it needs to be. The other good edge over here happens to be the orange. In one move, the orange is now in the correct place. So the red and the orange pieces are solved at the bottom. So here we actually have two bad edges on the same side. You'll notice that they are opposite colours. The blue is opposite the green. The blue needs to end up in the front and the green needs to end up at the back. A very fast way of solving both pieces at the same time is to turn the front 1/4 turn. I see the green is on this side, which needs to go to the back. I simply turn the top two layers. You'll find that you turn the top two layers a lot when solving the white cross. And you'll notice that the blue is now in front and the green is at the back. So rewinding back to where we were, in a few quick moves, you turn the two bad edges into good edges, one move to get them to the correct side. The blue gets turned downwards and is now solved. And one turn on the back slice solves the green, and that gives you the white cross. The middle pieces were placed correctly, but if they weren't, you just have to turn them until they align correctly. Here is another case where you have the bad edge on the side. As it's a blue edge, we know that it needs to go down here in the front. I'm going to show you this with the green as well in a minute, but first let's see how we get this blue piece down here. This is actually a very easy case. You'll also notice that the red is already in the correct place, so you have to take care not to mess that up. Start by moving the piece down towards you, and you'll notice that the blue is now on the correct face, but you'll also notice that the red has moved as well. So to solve this, you use this finger. So it started up here, you move it down, the first finger pushes down and moves the blue down to the bottom, which solves that, but the red and white piece is no longer at the bottom. So by turning your hand back into default starting position, you correct everything, and now you have the white cross. Just to show you that again, the blue and the white is up here and the red and white are solved. Bring the blue towards you, the first finger pushes it down into the correct place, and finally the right hand turns its side back to starting position. And that sorts everything out. Once more, with this piece starting in the bad edge. The blue comes down towards you, first finger pushes down, and the right hand corrects everything by going back to starting position, which brings the red back into the correct place. I'll now show you the same situation with the green piece. The green piece needs to go to the back, but it's here on a bad edge on the left. You've also got the orange solved on this side, so you don't want to mess that up. The most efficient way to do this is to move the right two slices down towards you. Your left first finger then pushes the top of the slice so that the green and white piece go to the back where it needs to go. Finally, move the two slices back down, which corrects the orange side and completes the cross. I'll show you that again. Blue in front, red here. This green needs to go into the back slot. The right two slices come down towards you, first finger pushes it into place, and then finally move your right pieces back into starting position. It's done in 3 easy moves. In cubing terms, little r prime, u, little r. One, 2, 3. Here's another bad edge case. The red is on the correct side, but the wrong way round, and is on a bad edge. On the other side, it's at the top. This one is on the correct side and needs to go in here, but it's a bad edge. Let's start on the right side. For this situation, I would do an R the wrong way round, which turns it into a good edge, and push the two slices away on the other side, and then an R move will put it in the correct slot over here. Again, this one starts here. R, little u prime, R. And the red is in place. Now on the orange side at the top, it's actually quite a similar situation. The left hand does an L move, the right first finger does a little U move, finally an L prime will put the orange in the correct slot. Again, L, little u, L prime. Once more, L, little u, L prime. Alternatively, you could start with an L prime, which places the orange and white piece at the back, then perform a little u prime to bring it to the front, and then finish with an L. Finally, as the center pieces are misaligned, you just have to turn it until everything lines up. It's probably easiest to learn this if you can watch me actually doing a few example solves. I'm starting with a white on the bottom, and what I tend to find quite often is that there'll be one white edge piece in place already, so I always use that as my starting point. For instance, this is the green edge piece, so I know that it has to go to the back, and because the back is slightly more awkward to get to, it means I can concentrate on the easier pieces at the front. So looking here, I can see that this orange piece goes to my left. It's now in a good edge on top of where it needs to go. and with an L'2, it's exactly where it needs to be. I now notice that the blue and white piece is in a bad edge on top, and I need to get the piece down here. But a simple L, F', L' solves that case, and you'll see the cross is almost complete. The final red piece is at the back here, and with one simple R move, that is now in place. The white cross is complete. Now all that's left to do is turn the top two layers until the middle pieces are aligned. I've messed up the cube again, and this time you only have the white centerpiece at the bottom and there are no other solved pieces. Now I notice that I've got the blue and white piece over here, so I use this as my starting point. So, as you've seen previously, to get this piece in is easy, even though it's on a bad edge. I just do R', and then F puts it into the correct place. I bring this side back here to where it was, in case I've messed anything up, and it also puts the hands back into default position. Next, I see the orange on the left here is in a perfect position to go where it needs to go. The green over here is easy. Just doing a little U move brings it to the back. Then by turning the back slice, puts that into place. And finally, this red is in a bad edge on this side. So all I have to do is bring it towards me with an R', little U, and an R solves that, and it also finishes our white cross. As an added bonus, all the middle pieces are perfectly aligned. This is my third and final solve with the practice cube. I always start by looking to see if there are any solved edges on the bottom. I see this blue piece. I often start with this colour because it goes in front. It's on the right, and a simple F move puts that in place. Next, I see green on the left here. I turn it to the back because that's where it belongs, and simply turn the back slice until it's down at the bottom where it needs to be. So now I've got half the cross solved at the bottom with the blue and green. I see orange here and see that it's in the right place but the wrong way round. So I bring it up towards me with an L', little U to the back, and bring it down into the correct place with another L'. I then spot the final white piece at the back. I perform a little U which brings it to the correct side. Push that down with an R and that completes the white cross. Finally align the center pieces and you're ready to move on to solving the corner pieces. This move is known as the sexy move. Many cubers also refer to it as an RU move. Not only is it the most important and versatile move in cubing, it's also a great finger exercise that will help you move around the pieces of the cube much quicker. Start with blue in front, yellow on top, red right, orange left. To start, place your right 3 fingers on top. Thumb underneath and perform R, U, R', U', and repeat R, U, R', U', R, U, R', U'. Keep repeating these moves over and over. And you'll find that once you've repeated it 6 times, you'll be back at your starting position. Keep repeating these moves until they become fluid and second nature. and until you can do them fairly quickly. This is the sexy move from the left side, the orange side. Start with your left 3 fingers on top, thumb underneath, and perform L prime, U prime, L, U. L prime, U prime, L, U. L prime, U prime, L, U. And again, keep repeating until you're back to the solved cube. As with the right-sided version, keep practicing this until you have it smooth and fast. The sledgehammer is another very useful move and another great finger exercise. It is basically the sexy move performed from a different angle. I'll be teaching 2 ways to do this. The first one is slightly faster if you need to repeat the move more than once, but it involves you having to re-grip the cube at the start, which might slow you down in the long run. The left hand re-grips the cube by putting 3 fingers on top and thumb on the bottom. This hand is there to steady the cube and allow the first finger to move the face of the cube. The right hand starts with an R prime move. The first finger pushes down for an F, followed by an R, and finally the left first finger pushes down with an F prime. So, R prime, F, R, F prime, R prime, F, R, F prime. Until you're back at the start. Keep practicing this move until you can do it fluently. This version of the same move is a little slower, but it does mean that you don't have to re-grip the cube with your left hand at the start. R prime, F, R, the thumb on the bottom, finger on top. The thumb pushes the front layer up for the last move. R prime, F, R, F prime. I tend to use this second method more, even though it's a bit more awkward, because it finishes up in the starting position, ready to go straight into another move. This is the faster version of the sledgehammer on the left side. The right hand re-grips the cube before you perform L, F prime, L prime, and the right finger pushes down for the last F. L, F prime, L prime, F, L, F prime, L prime, F. And then practice getting it fast. The alternative version starts in the default position. L, F prime, L prime, and The last move is done with the right thumb and first finger pushing down on the first layer. L, F prime, L prime, thumb and finger in front, the other fingers steady the cube at the back, and the front layer gets pulled down. L, F prime, L prime, F. Again, this is the one I tend to use most, unless I'm having to repeat the move as it ends up in the default position. So now you know how to complete the face and the bottom row. I'm going to teach you how to do it by staying on this side, because we learnt how to get the two pieces in front of you, then you'd have to turn to the back. So now I'm going to teach you how to do it all from this side. So I'll teach you a couple more algorithms, but they're going to be really simple, or a couple of quick moves to get the back pieces into the back without you having to turn the cube to the back. We start with the sexy move, but from the back. The idea is, so rather than you doing the RU, R prime, U prime from this front position, you're going to do it from the back. And it's just literally the opposite on this side. So you're doing R prime, U prime, R, U. R prime, U prime, R, U. R prime, U prime, R, U. You do this until the cube is solved, like that. And it's exactly the same on the other side. So you're doing L, U, L prime, U prime, L, U, L prime, U prime. And you repeat this until you're back in your solved position. Those are the two algorithms that will help you out for the parts at the back. So you're not just going to use them. And the reason I'm not teaching you the sledgehammer from the back, because it's a very awkward thing to do. It is possible, and there are a few different ways, but I think at this stage it's easier for you to learn a slightly different method. And it will also give you a better understanding of the cube and how to put different pieces in slightly different ways. Because the sledgehammer isn't necessarily the fastest. The reason I taught you the sledgehammer is just to get you used to doing slightly more awkward moves. Because this is a slightly more awkward move, plus we use it in the refractor project, so I thought it's a useful thing to learn. It will also be a useful thing to learn when we get to two-look OLL. That's why the sledgehammer is useful, but it's not always the fastest. But it's a good starting point. We'll go back to our black cube, and you remember, if you have your piece on top that's in front of you and it's off to the side, you just do the sexy move. In fact, you actually only do the first three moves of the sexy move, because you're just doing R, U, R prime, and this turn is actually irrelevant. So it's actually only a 3-move insert. So you're just doing R, U, R prime, and that piece is in. You're going to do exactly the same thing. Now you know the sexy move at the back. That's exactly what you do. So let's get that piece out to there. So you'll see this back piece is now out off to my right. You do exactly the same with the backwards sexy move. So you do R prime, U prime, R, and then that puts that piece in. So you'll see it's quicker, rather than having to turn the cube now and then do a sexy move. You can just, at this point, you can stay exactly where you are and just do a backward sexy move. So you just goes R prime, U prime, R. And that one's now starting. That works exactly the same on the left. So again, if you can see this white piece off to the side, then you know you do an L, U, L prime. L, U, L prime. It's such a quick move that you'll just get to know that really quickly. That is how you get these two pieces if the white is out to the side. So what do you do if the white is out to the front? Now in this case, normally you do a sledgehammer if this was in front of you, you do a sledgehammer. But if it's at the back, it's actually super easy to get that into there. All you do is you get this, if you learnt the old Stephen Brundage method of way up, back, down, just think of it like that, because you've got to move the piece out of the way. This is the slice you're dealing with, that goes then up, so you're doing an R prime move, that gets pushed over. So what I tend to do, because I want to kind of try and keep my hands in this place, I go up there like that, I push this one up. This is a good thing to learn as well and practice, because this gets you used to pushing this top layer across like that. So start again, you go R prime, you push this one with a U, and then you've actually solved that piece. Then all you need to do is go back down. That quick. This is if the white is facing away from you rather than on the side. This is facing away, where you'd normally do a sledgehammer. All you're doing is away, up, back, down. You're doing, just so that you can see what's happening, you're going away, this piece is moving up, so you've got the white up here. This then joins all the white pieces together, and that one then goes down to the bottom there like that. It's that quick. There, straight into that. And it's exactly the same on the other side. So if you're on this side and you find that this white piece is at the top, facing away from you, you move it away. So now you can see the white piece over here. You move this one up, back, down. Again, this is a super quick move, away, up, back, down. It's away, up, back, down. And that is how to solve the piece if it's in the front there. So if both these pieces are at the front and facing away from you, you do it away, up, back, down. And for this side the same, you do it away, up, back, down. And you can all do that. This is called regriplessly. So without having to move this hand up and down like that, you can do it all with your hand in this position, where they just start and end in this position. What happens if this white piece is now facing upwards? So now you can obviously, as you know, if the white was on top here, you do the sexy move 3 times, and you do the same thing here. So you do the backwards sexy move 3 times, and that's now in. So that's probably the fastest way that you'll, once you get to know the sexy move, that is a super quick way of doing. And now it's back at the top. So to get that one in down the bottom, 1, 2, 3, and it's back and it's in its slot. So if it's facing up top, you just do a backward sexy move 3 times, and that's probably the easiest way of doing it. But there is actually another way, and I'll just quickly teach you that. This might interest you, it might not, but this is actually just a couple of less moves, but I'm just going to show you this just so that you can just to show you that there are plenty of ways or different ways of getting this piece into this slot, rather than just using the same thing over and over again. And this is, again, you might find this faster. And what you do is you do an R prime, so you get this one up to the back. Then I do a U2 or a U prime 2 in this case. So, and then correct everything. So now what I've done, so it was facing up by doing, hang on, let me just get back to where I was. So I stay in this position, I go an R prime, a U prime 2, and then an R, so which corrects everything. This is now off to the side. I then can do a U, which now you can see brings this off to the side, and now you just do the first 3 moves of the backward sexy move, which is just R prime, U prime, R. So you might find that easier, you might not. So let me just do that again, just to speed this up a little bit. So I do an R prime, U prime 2, R, then I bring this one round to the side, and then do the backward sexy. So there, from here, I'll just do that once more, a bit faster. So you can see, again, that's quite a fast way of getting that in there, and it's possibly slightly more efficient, I don't know. It just depends how fast you can do the backward sexy move. Now on the left hand side, so now I've got the left up here, so this piece needs to go down here, and you've got the white facing up. Now of course, just like here on the right hand side, you can do the sexy move 3 times, and that puts that one in. Or you can use the other way, which is, again, it's exactly the same. So you do an L move, you do a U2, which brings it to the front and down, and then you do a U prime move. Now you can see this white piece off to the side, and then you do your backward sexy move, and that puts that straight in. Again, let's just get it back up to the top. Sped up, this would look like that quick. It just depends what you find easier. You might find that the sexy move on the left hand side is harder to do, so you might find the other method there a little bit quicker. That's the 2 cases. So you've had the 2 cases if they're on the front, if they're on the left, so if they're on out to the side, if they're in front here like that, and if they're facing up to the top. Now let me show you what if they're in their slot, in the right correct slot, but in the wrong orientation. Now we're going to do the pieces so that, first of all, so starting with your blue in front, now you can see that these 2 pieces, or this will start with the red and the green, so this piece is now on the bottom in the correct slot, but it's the wrong orientation. So in this case, the white is facing out to my right. This is super easy because this is just a backward sexy move twice. It's the fastest way of doing it. You just do it once, and that gets it out to the side, and then you do it again, or you do the first 3 moves at least. So that puts that one in. Now I've got this one is in the same position, so I'll just show this from the left hand side as well. So again, you just do a backward sexy on the left, and that puts that one in. So again, just it's on the side. There you go, that puts that one in. So that case is super fast. The final case is so that you have these 2 pieces in this case facing away from you. If you have this in front of you, you know that you do 2 sledgehammers, and that would turn these 2 pieces right. If they're at the back, obviously to do 2 sledgehammers, as I said, it can be done, but there's a much quicker way of doing it. And in this case, all you do, this is similar to the other case I showed you where the white is facing up. So what you do, this one here, you pull it away, you pull it up, you get it, and you push this one away. So it's an R prime, a U, but you push it with this finger, and then an R. Now you see that this is now facing the front. And if this is facing the front, you just move it away, up, back, down. And that moves that one in. It's that quick. Let me just get that one back in. Yeah, so here it is again. You've got the white facing away from you here. To get it up to the top, you do an R prime. That gets that piece up. You do a U prime, which gets it out of the way. Oh no, sorry, you do a U rather to get it out of the way. And then you do the R, which faces it forwards. And now you know you do the away, up, back, down, because it's the away, up, back, down. And that gets that one in. And it's exactly the same on the left. So again, in this case, it's the green and orange, and the white is facing away. You move the piece to the top with an L move. You push this, and that's an L prime move to get it in front of you. And then the L prime moves it to the front where it needs to go. And now you're in that away, up, back, down case. Away, up, back, down. Again, it's super simple. So, and it's good to learn how to do this from this particular angle. I think it's just so much better to learn to not rotate the cube so much. I mean, sometimes it might be more convenient to rotate the cube, but if you can get used to not rotating, that will speed your solve times up anyway. Those are all your cases to get from the back, whatever position they are at the back, into this slot here, whether they're in the slot or at the top. I hope that helps. So now you've solved the cross at the bottom, and you've still got the blue in front and yellow on top. Next, you're going to learn how to solve all the corner pieces using just the sexy move and the sledgehammer. The first thing you need to do is look for any white corner pieces. That's easy because you're just looking for the colour white that's not part of the white cross underneath. This is just a quick overview on what you're going to learn and how cool these moves are. For instance, let's start with this piece down here. Because I've got blue and red either side, this blue, red and white is in the right place but the wrong orientation. All I need to do is perform a sledgehammer twice, and that is now in the correct orientation. It's that quick. Let's move on to the next piece. If I get this corner piece over here, I'm looking for the blue and the orange. And here I've got the white, blue and orange. Here I just do a sexy move on the left hand side 3 times, and that piece is now in the correct slot. Next I turn the cube to the back, and I notice I've got the same situation here with the green and orange. I do the right hand sexy move 3 times, and that's now in. And this last white piece over here just requires 1 sledgehammer, and that's now also in place. So that's how quick it is to solve the white side just using those moves that you've already learned. And now I'm going to go into exactly how that works in much more detail. To make this easy to learn, we're going to use this cube, which only has the white side and one row. It will enable us to concentrate on just the pieces that we need to solve. So this is a little bit like the Karate Kid, where you'll start to understand the moves that you were practicing earlier. Starting off with the sexy move. Because there are two of them, one on the left, one on the right, I'm going to start referring to the right sexy move as an RU move, and the sexy move on the left hand side as an LU move. It also stops me having to use the phrase sexy move, which is probably starting to get a bit weird. Then we've also got the right sledgehammer and the left sledgehammer. Starting with the RU move. If I perform it 6 times, you'll remember that you end up back at the start. That's going to help us solve the corner pieces. Let me just start by showing you what the RU move does to this corner piece every time I do it. RU once will bring the corner piece up to the top, and because you are now solving the white side, we're only interested in which way the white is facing. In this case, the white is facing towards you. If I perform it again, the piece goes back in its slot and the white is still facing towards you. So it's in the right place, but the wrong orientation. On the third time, the corner piece is back on top, but the white is facing up. RU a fourth time places the piece back in, but the white is facing away to the right. On the fifth time, the white again is facing away, but the piece is back on top. And the sixth RU move puts the piece back in the correct orientation. So that will make more sense in a moment, but let's now have a look at the sledgehammer. The sledgehammer once takes the piece out and puts it on top, and you'll notice that it does the reverse of what the sexy move does. The white is now facing away. A sledgehammer the second time, and the piece is back at the bottom, and again the white is facing away. On the third time, the white is now facing upwards. The fourth sledgehammer puts the piece back in with the white facing towards me. Again, and the piece is back up with the white facing me. And when the white faces me up top, one more sledgehammer will put the piece back in the correct orientation. So by being aware of what actually happens to the corner piece as you do these moves will make solving the corners much easier. And you'll notice it does exactly the same on the left side. Now you know that concept, you'll be able to put the corner pieces in the correct slot very quickly. I've mixed up the cube and we're going to start solving it with the usual blue side in front of us. Once we've done that, we're going to solve the back corners and then turn it back around to the front. Eventually you're going to solve all the corners from the blue side because it's the most efficient way of doing it. But for now, this is going to be the easier way for you to get your head around this concept. Let's start here, and I'm looking around for pieces that need to go in either of the front 2 slots. For instance, this piece here needs to go in here because you've got the blue and the orange. You'll notice the white is facing up. If the white faces up, an LU move is the faster option. In fact, 3 LU moves will solve that case. The faster you do the move, the quicker they'll go in. That's why they're great finger exercises. Next, I turn the top and bring this corner above the correct slot. Again, the white is facing up. So all I have to do is 3 RU moves, and that puts the piece in. I now turn the cube to the back, and again you have the same scenario with the white facing up. 3 RU moves puts this one in, and then 3 LU moves puts the last one in. That was obviously a very easy solve, so let's have a look at another example. I've mixed the cube up again, and let's have a look. So these two are at the bottom, but neither of them are solved. This one here is in the wrong slot, and this one here is also in the wrong slot. And these two are up top. In this case, I would start with the ones on top. This piece here is above the correct slot, and the white is facing away. The general rule is that if the white is facing away, it's faster to use an RU move. The same if the white is down here, or as you saw in the previous sequence, if the white is up top, also use an RU move. If the white is facing you here or here, I use a sledgehammer. In this case, the white is facing away, and when I put this one in, you'll also notice that it takes this one on the bottom out at the same time. So just one RU move puts this one into the correct slot and takes that one out, which is blue and orange, and goes into this slot. The white is facing away, so as it's on the left, you use an LU move, which solves that very quickly. I now turn to the back and look at these two pieces. The green and the red on top is solved by performing 3 LU moves, which also takes out the final piece and places it nicely above where it needs to go. Again, the white is facing away, so one RU move will sort that last piece out. So far you'll notice that you've done a lot of RU and LU moves. They tend to be more common, but the next solve will show you how useful the sledgehammer can be. This is the third mix, and I like to have a quick scan of the cube to see where all the white pieces are. Again, try to start with a blue in front and get yourself used to starting in this position. Now, I notice that when turning the top, these two pieces are now above the correct slots. This one has the white facing me, so the fastest way of inserting this piece is by simply doing one sledgehammer, and that solves that case very quickly. Turning the top again brings this one into a very familiar situation, which is 3 LU moves. I now turn the cube to the back. This green and orange piece has the white facing away, so one RU move sorts that out. The final red and green piece has the white facing towards me, so the fastest option is a sledgehammer. 1, 2 sledgehammers solves that last case. I think I've covered all the scenarios now, but I'll just do one more solve with a normal cube so you can see what that looks like. One last solve with a normal cube. We've got the white cross on the bottom, and all I'm doing is looking for the other white corner pieces. I can quickly see that this one is in the correct slot, but not in the correct orientation. As the white is facing away, I know that 2 RU moves will solve that. I'm now looking for the blue and orange white corner. I can quickly see that one LU move will put that right. I then turn the cube to the back and see that this one here is in the correct slot, but the white is facing me. So I know straight away that 2 sledgehammers will solve that. The quickest way to perform more than one sledgehammer is to re-grip the cube like this. And it's sorted. Finally, the white is facing me on top, so just one sledgehammer on the left will complete the white side. All you need to do now is keep practicing that method and you'll be speed solving in no time. Now, I wasn't going to do this video, but I think I might give you a few tips on how to get these pieces in, being able to staying in this position with the, in this case, with the blue in front of you and the white on the bottom. Normally you'd have the yellow, but I've taken the stickers off those. So, you've got in this position, and of course, you know that if you've learned the Stephen Brundage method or a lot of the beginners methods, you know that this stage is all about the away, up, back, down. So for instance, if this goes in this edge piece needs to go in here, you do away, up, back, down, and then you turn it away, up, back, down. But you're turning the cube. here's a couple of extra hints on slightly different ways of doing this. In this case, I would do, to be able to stay in this position, I would do away, up, back, down, which, as you can see, puts these pieces together. And rather than turn at this point, I tend to prefer to do, and this is called a hedge slammer, and this is an F, R prime, F prime, R. So let me show you that again. So you do your normal, so you've got your blue and red in front, that needs to go into this position here. So you do away, up, back, down, that puts the two pieces together, and then instead of turning now, you just do, you pull down with this one and you do an F, R prime, F prime, R. That is how to get, that's a slightly different way so that you can stay in this position. So you've got these two sides solved at the front. Now you want to get these pieces into the back. Now you can do that same away, up, back, down, and I'll show you a really cool way to, once you've done the first away, up, back, down, to get the two pieces in back into that slot. The idea is you need to get these two pieces. If you have this in front of you, you do away, up, back, down to pair the two pieces up the top. Now you're doing it from the back, it's a little bit different. So the red needs to go over here, the green is aligned with this piece here. So you still do, but you do this from the back. You do away, so in a U prime move, so you do away, up, so that brings this corner piece to the top, back, so you push that one back so that this piece is now in front of you, and now as you do the away, back, down, that then pairs the two pieces up so that they're in front of you like that, like they normally would be in front of you. This is where you turn away and then do the away, up, back, down. But you're in this position here, so this, at first this will seem like a bit of a weird move, but once you learn this, once you get used to this move, it's a really cool little move because it's actually quite a hard thing. I showed you the hedge slammer from the front here just now. You kind of have to do, you could do a hedge slammer from the back, which is a move, but again it's a little bit tricky. So I'm going to teach you the move that I learned first, and this is a really cool move. And the move is to get these two in there is an L prime. So you're moving this side, the opposite side up. You're then doing a B prime move. So you do L prime, B prime. This, as you see, you've got them all correct there. So you now, as your hand in this position, you right those two pieces, and now you'll see that these two rows are now correct. You then do a B move with this, which puts these pieces together, and then finally you do an M move. Now you'll see the algorithm up above, but this M move, all you do is with your third right finger, you pull down, and that puts everything correct. Now I'll do that again. So you're in this position, and you do an L prime, B prime, an R, then you do a B and an M. That's called an M slice because it's this center slice. So it's a really, you can do it super quick once you get used to it. That quick. So I'll do that again. It's down, correct them, correct the top, and then M. And it's that quick. It's just a lovely move. And I'll just do it once more. And that's how you get that last piece in. At first this might seem like a long algorithm to do, but it really can be done super quick. From here you're in this position where you need to get this one in there. So you do away, up, back, down, and so that pairs the two pieces up, and then you do your second like that. So one final time, you've got the blue and red to go in here. You do away, up, back, down. That pairs the two up, and then you do your other algorithm to get that one in the bottom. As you can see, it's actually a super quick thing to do once you get used to it, and it's a really nice algorithm to do because you start and end in the same place. So now let's do that from the other side. So you've got the green here, that needs to go in there, and you've got the orange to go in here. You do away, so this is away from your slot, up, it brings that piece up, back, and then that is with a U prime move, but you do it by pushing this finger, U prime, and then an L prime, which puts the two together, and then to get it in, this time you do an R, B, L prime, then you need to get these green, put it right with a B prime, so that aligns those pieces, and then you just do an M, which sorts everything out. Again from the left hand side, so you do away, up, back, down, pairs the two pieces up, and then you do your R, B, L prime, U prime, M. One more time, so you've got the green to go in there, you do away, up, back, down, and then that quick. It's a really pleasing algorithm to do. Now there's one final scenario, which is what happens if the green piece, instead of being at the back here when you turn it, it's actually the red piece. So it's actually the wrong way around. So normally you'd have to turn it to the red side and do the away, up, back, back, down that way. But I'm going to teach you how to do it from the side. So to get this side piece in here. This will feel a little bit awkward at first, but the more you do this, again, you'll find this quicker because it's just all one smooth algorithm. If you can actually see how the pieces, what the pieces do when you actually take them apart, I think you'll learn it far quicker. What I do in this case, so I get the red needs to go down here and the green goes back here, and I then do an R prime move, an U move, and I do that with this finger, and then an R move, and then you'll notice that these two pieces have paired together. So they are together. Now to get them to go back into the slot together, what you do is you do a U, R prime, another U, but you do it with this finger, and then you do an R, and now you'll see the two pieces at this angle. And this you'll later on, this is a really useful move that you're about to do. You then do one more U prime move, which puts them in this position. And you'll actually see that you've got the red and the green here, and the green and the red here. And you can see the two opposite colors on top, and you'll see the white off to the side there. And this is a super quick insert to get these two pieces into this slot. And all it is an R prime, U prime, R. So it's that quick. So you see the two opposite colors on top and the white on this side. So back, down, in. So that is all it is. And that will, later on, if you learn F2L, that becomes a very quick little move to get these two pieces into that slot. Again, you start, you've got your red piece on this side, which needs to go in here. You do an R prime, U with this finger, R. That pairs the two pieces up, but they're definitely not together. So you need to prise them apart before you get them back in again. So you do a U, R prime, U, so from this finger, and then bring the R back up again, and then you do another, then you do a U prime, and now you've got the two opposite colors, and then you just do, bring this one up, bring this one together, and that pairs them up, move them into the slot here, which aligns everything up, and then bring that back down. That seems like quite a few moves, but once you learn this quickly, you'll be able to do this far faster than if you were turning the cube. Let me show you that once more, but a bit quicker. You're back in this position, bring the side up, do a U prime, put the two pieces go together. You then do a U, which puts the two pieces in front of you. You separate the two pieces by bringing this one down, and by bringing this one down, this is an empty, it doesn't matter what happens in this slot because it doesn't affect anything else anywhere on the cube. You separate the two and then bring them back round, bring this one round to the front, and then you know you can just get this one back in. And it's actually quite useful to learn to do the move backwards. I had to relearn this just now because I just do it out of habit, but you can sort of go backwards on the move and learn to do the move so that you can get the slot back into where you were. So you just do the algorithm backwards and then forwards. That's a good way of practicing it. I'm so used to doing it just one way that I have forgotten the backwards way, but to be able to practice it forwards and backwards is really quite a good thing for getting your finger speed up. You're in this position, so that quick, that's how quick you can do it. That's to get it back into this position. Like that. So it's just, once you get used to those movements, you want to try and learn it backwards and forwards. There you go. But now you've got the same scenario on the left hand side. In this case, you're doing an L move and bringing the piece up to the top. You do a U prime move, but you do it with this finger. That pairs that, or that gets the two pieces together, but they're not paired up. And then you do an L prime. Now you've got the two pieces together, but not together as you want them. So you then do a U prime, which brings the two pieces in front of you. You move that one down out of the way, and then you separate the two. So you then get this one off to the side, and that is a U prime move, and bring that one back up. And now you can see the opposite colors on top there. And when you do a U move, you'll see them in that perfect position where you've got the two colors in front of the two opposite colors, or the two separate colors there, and you've got the white off to the side. Now you do an L, which pairs the two up, U, L prime, and that then slots that in at the back. So again, I've got to rethink this now. You're back in the same position, so you've got your orange on the side. You bring that one up. So let's just get the algorithm. L, U prime, L prime. Then you do a U prime, L, U prime, L prime. That then, now you can see the two separate pieces. And if you do one more U, that then gets it in the right position for you to do that 3 move insert. L, U, L prime. L, U, L prime. And that then moves it in. So let me just get that together. And so you're back here. You'll find that you can do that quite quickly. So that quick to get it in. And in fact, it's a good way of practicing all your algorithms by being able to do them backwards and forwards. And it's probably something I never did enough, and that's why my algorithms probably aren't as fast as they could be, but that's something that I personally need to improve on. But I know how to get these pieces into the right place. I just sometimes can't do it as fast as I'd like it, like that. So that gets that piece in. So hopefully that's been useful on a way to do it regriplessly and to do it without turning, to get the edge pieces into their slots. I've just been editing the previous videos and I realized I'd totally forgotten to explain what happens if you have the situation you just had, but the edge piece goes to the front here. You bring this one up with an R, U prime, R prime, that pairs the two pieces up, U prime to the back, and then you go an R, U prime, R prime. Then you've got this situation, you bring this round to the front with a U, and now you just got that easy insert where you just go like that. So the algorithm will be up above, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this because you will have realized that it's very similar to what you've been doing already. It's just a question of doing it there and back. Again, it's very easy to practice, and it's of course quite quick to do. And then you're back in this position, and you've just got to work out your own fingering, which is best, whether you do a push or a pull. And it's the same on the other side. Right, so you're here and you pair or put the two together, split them apart again, and then slot them in. And again, just to get it back there like that, and that is the second row complete. This is just a bonus video just to emphasize some of the things you've already learned and hopefully help you recognize certain cases that will speed your solving up and kind of make you hopefully start to understand F2L. And what I mean by that is, so once you've done your white cross and you're thinking about getting the corners into place, if you happen to see a situation where two pieces are paired up together, you may as well, rather than get this one in separately, get this one in first and then start thinking about that one, you may as well do the two steps at once and actually get them into that slot, which is essentially what F2L is. So this video is all about just to help you recognize a couple of cases and how to solve them instantly, really quickly, just so that you start to recognize F2L cases. Or help, for instance, where this one is in place, and if you see this one facing up on top, all you have to do is just do 3 quick moves and that one's then in its slot anyway. And so that helps you skip having to do the second row, and you can do that case all in one go rather than having to do the two separately. So that's what this video is all about. So for instance, you learnt originally with the away, up, back, down, as in the way Stephen Brundage teaches it. That pairs these two pieces up, and then as you turn around, you're going away, up, back, down. You're slotting them into the correct slot. That is essentially what you're doing with F2L, and you're pairing the two pieces up and putting them in their slot. If you find yourself in this position, so away, up, back, down, I did show you that you're able to pull this down, and this is actually called, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, this is actually called a hedge slammer, and it's kind of the opposite of the sledgehammer, because a sledgehammer you do from the front and it comes down like that, whereas a hedge slammer is done from the side. So you've got these two pieces and you can pull them down, and so that would be an F, R prime, F prime, R, and that slots that in, and that's called a hedge slammer. So now you've actually learnt two different ways of slotting those two pieces into that slot. So this would be the sledgehammer. You've also got the hedge slammer, which would be like this. So if you've got that one on the side and it needs to go in here, you would pull that one down, do an R prime, F prime, and finish with an R, which aligns everything up. So that is the hedge slammer. Say you've just done your white cross, for instance, and you actually find that there are two pieces together. Rather than now just worrying about slotting this piece in, you can actually slot both of them into that slot together, which then brings you one step ahead, which misses out the part where you've actually got to do the middle row or the middle edge pieces. So in this case, if you've got the opposite corners here and it needs to go into this slot, all you do is lift that slot up, push that one, so it would be an R, a U prime, which aligns everything up there, and then by doing an R prime, that then brings everything together so that everything's aligned properly and the white face is now, or the white part is now correct. So that is just super easy. You could of course, if you find it in this position, you could of course do a sledgehammer, but most people would probably find it easier to bring it to the side there, up, get it in and down. So it's a really quick way of getting in. It's the same amount of moves as the sledgehammer if you're in this position. So you do 1, 2, 3, 4, or you do the sledgehammer. It just depends whatever's easiest. And later on you'll find in cubing that there are advantages to doing one over the other depending on what happens next and what position it puts you in with the yellow layer, but that's much more advanced. And of course if it's on the other side, that would work as well. If you're finding let's say you're on this side, the red was your main color in front, and this is on the left hand side, you just bring the left slot up, be an L prime, U, L, and it's that easy just to put that into its slot like that. And that would obviously work from the back as well. So if you found for instance this piece out here like that, and you saw, oh, that's got to go into this slot here, you just lift that slot up, which brings the white up to the top. You do a U, which aligns all of those up, and then an R brings it back down to the bottom, and everything's as it should be. That is, if you find the two pieces at the back there like that, and it needs to go into the red and the green slot, so you bring it up with an R prime, push it over with an U and then down with an R, straight into that slot. And that works with the other side as well, obviously. So those two pieces need to go in there. You bring that one up with an L move. You do a U prime with your first finger there, and then an L prime puts it into the correct slot there. I hope that's useful. Oh, there's also, of course, if you were, for instance, you need to get these two pieces into this slot, and you can't do it the usual way, because obviously you need to get those two into that slot. This goes back to the algorithm you were doing earlier on, where you're doing the R, B, L prime, then you correct that top part with a U prime, and then you do that M slice. So you're doing that same algorithm as again. So let's get back to that slot. So that is if it's in this position where you've got, well, in this case, if I can see the orange there and the orange there, this needs to go down here. So this would be where I'd normally, if I was doing this at the front, I'd do a hedge slammer, but on the back here, I use that other algorithm that you learnt, which is the R, B, L prime, U prime, M. And so that's the way of sticking those two pieces in at the back. So if you find that this slot is in its slot already, and then you turn the top piece and it's facing upwards, this is great, because all you do is do a sexy move 3 times, and that one slots that one in its place, and then then there's no need to put this one in separately, so this one doesn't get interfered with. So let's go back. So again, if you do 3 sexy moves, you can get back out of the situation, of course, as well. This edge piece is in the correct slot. It needs to go down here. Sexy move 3 times. Boom, it's in, and the edge piece is maintained there. And again, that obviously works from the back. If you're on the back right hand side, if I'm here, I can see that one on top, this one's in its place. I just do the backward sexy move, and that puts that one in its slot. So now we're going to solve the yellow side, and I'm going to teach you what's called 2-look OLL. That's orientation of the last layer, which is the yellow side. And the good news is that if you've learnt the beginner's method, which, you know, you've learnt the one where you get the yellow cross, and then you've got to do the same algorithm over and over again until you get the fish with the yellow dot, and then you do it once more, and then that finishes the yellow side. I'm going to teach you some more algorithms that enable you to just use 2 algorithms straight off. And the good news is that because of everything you've learnt, like the sexy move and the sledgehammer, you'll find these algorithms easier to learn, because there's a lot of, especially the sexy move, used throughout the yellow layer, and the sledgehammer is also used, but we'll come on to that shortly. So the idea is that you can just really quickly get the yellow cross, and then from here, in fact this is super easy, you can get straight to the yellow side and finish that off. So that is what the next video or videos are all about. So this next video is going to be all about the yellow cross. And this is just super simple. And I'm going to teach this slightly different from the way Stephen Brundage teaches it, but hopefully make it a bit quicker for you to get to this slot, because this is the way I learnt Stephen Brundage's method, and then I found out a couple of different ways of doing it, and for me this is quicker. And again, all you're using is the sexy move, the RU move, and in fact you are literally just using the RU rather than the LU move. So you're just doing the sexy move on the right hand side, and that's all this is. So let's say you start with a dot. There are two different ways of turning this front part down. You know, you've got the normal F move, and then you've got the little f, and little f just means that you do the front two layers. So the front two layers go down and do an F. So those, you just using F, sexy move, back up. So if I've got the dot, what I tend to do, I tend to do an F, sexy move, and then F prime. Now you'll see that you've got these three. So you're not worried about the corner pieces at all. You're just worried about the edge pieces here. So in this case, I've got two edge pieces. Now I think, I can't remember how Stephen Brundage does it. I think he sticks the L up here, the backwards L up here. I always do it down at this bottom slot here. So now I've got the bottom slot here. I do a fat F, so a little F. Again, I do a sexy move, and then do the F back up. And now, I mean, that solved it all, but you can see that this yellow cross is in place. So let's just start that again. So we'll start again with the dot. So I do an F, sexy move, F prime. That gives me that kind of L, and I get that down in the bottom corner here. I then do a little F, or a fat F, sexy move, and the F prime, and that will then give me that cross. So now you know how to do, if you've just got the dot, you start with a little one, then a fat one, fat F. So the other scenario is if you have a line, and that line, if you've got a line, you just stick the line off there in the middle, and you then just do a normal F again, sexy move, F prime, and now you've got your cross, your yellow cross. And it's that simple. And I'll just show you the line once more. So I've got the line, so I do a normal F, sexy move, F. So that then gives me that yellow cross. You're just using almost the same scenario. You're either using a thin F to start with and then putting it right again, or you're using a fat F. So the only time, in fact, you use a fat F is if you've got that L there. That's the time, if you've got that upside down. Then I use the fat F, sexy move, and then F prime. That then gives me my yellow cross. If I've got the single line, I use just a normal F. And if I've got nothing, if I've just got the yellow dot in the middle, I also use just a normal F. The only time I use the fat F is if I've got those three pieces there in this corner down here. So that is basically, that's all there is to the yellow cross. And again, because you're using the sexy move, it's just super quick. You're just using that RU move over and over again, except you're adding the F and F prime, or fat F, F prime at the beginning and at the end. I hope that makes sense. I'll just do this once more. Now I've got the dot, so if I've got the dot, I tend to use the little F first, and that then gives me the upside down L. So I then do the fat F, sexy move, and back up. Now I've got my yellow cross. It's really is as simple as that. And if I just had the line, then I use the normal F and the sexy move and back up. So that is all there is to it. That is the yellow cross. I hope that makes sense. It's super easy. Just give it a try. Now, normally at this point, you're looking for your fish. You're looking for your fish and with a dot. And you now know that the algorithm that you do, that if you learn the beginner's method, this is called the soon algorithm. And that's where you do that algorithm that it's super quick and that will solve that yellow side. But I'm going to go into that algorithm in a minute, but I'm going to show you a couple of other scenarios first, some even easier scenarios just to get you confident with that. But I'm going to expand on the fish algorithm, which is the soon algorithm, shortly. But we'll start with another scenario. We're actually going to start with this scenario here, so that you've got the yellow cross, and now there's going to be one of two scenarios. Either you're going to have your headlights at the front and at the back, or you'll find in a minute you'll have one set of headlights to the front, and then you'll have the other set of headlights, they won't actually be headlights, there'll be one yellow one here and one yellow one facing that way. But this is the easiest scenario you'll get to. What you do, if you've got a yellow cross and you find that you've got headlights at the front and headlights at the back, you're going to love this one, because this again, this used to be one of my favorite algorithms to do. Whenever this case came up, I got really excited. So you don't have to do that fish algorithm over and over again. There's a much faster way. So in this case, you've got the cross, headlights at the back, headlights at the front. You do exactly what you did just now. You do an F. So you get this one down to the front, you do an F, and then you do the sexy move 3 times. So R prime, U prime 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and do an F prime, and that solves the yellow side. I say it's one of my favorite algorithms to do, because you can just do it super quick. So whenever you've got that white cross, so I'll just get us back to that situation. So here we are again. So you've got the yellow headlights in front and the yellow headlights at the back, and you've got the yellow cross. So you do an F, sexy move, sexy move, sexy move, back up. So that solves the yellow side. And if you want to go back, you can just do exactly the same thing again. So F, 1, 2, 3, sexy moves, and then back up, and then you're back in your same position. So that's just in case you wanted to practice that one, but I don't think that will require a lot of practice, because with all the moves that you've learnt, this one is probably the easiest case you'll get to solve the yellow corners. So that is it. So you've got the headlights at front and back, F, sexy move, sexy move, sexy move, and then F prime, and that solves the yellow layer. Now this is the other case where you've just got the yellow cross and none of the corners are solved. In this case, you've got headlights, one set of headlights rather, and then you've got these 2 lights here. And again, this is actually a really, really easy case. In this case, you stick the headlights to your left. So headlights to the left, and you've got this yellow piece here, and you've got the yellow piece at the back. So like that. And this is very similar to what you did just now, where you did the fat, in fact it's the opposite way of what you did just now, where you did the thin F, sexy move, F prime, and then the fat one. So in this case you do it the other way around. You start off with a little F, the fat F, sexy move, and then F prime, and that then gets and then you do the thin one, sexy move and F prime, and that then solves the yellow layer for you. So the same scenario again. So you've got from here, you've got the yellow headlights to the left, and this yellow facing you and that yellow facing away. So you do the little f, sexy move, little f prime, and then you do the little normal f, sexy move, f prime, and that then solves the yellow layer. So those two cases you'll find are super easy, and as soon as you see them, you'll just be able to shoot, get you one step ahead by not having to do the fish algorithm over and over again. So that solves these two cases. So that's quite a good start. Now we'll move on to the fish algorithm. Because you know this one, I'm going to teach you another algorithm which is very, very similar, and it's the opposite. So the fish algorithm, where you've got the dot down here, which is the one you want, that is called soon. And then there's the opposite one where the dot isn't down here, and in fact you can see it from there. If this you can see that the dot isn't next to the fish, and I'll teach you more about that in a moment. But this one you should know, because it's RU R prime U R U2 R prime, and that then solves that yellow layer. So that's the algorithm that you should know, and that is called soon. I'll just teach you a slightly quicker way of doing it, where you have, so you've got the fish here, you've got your yellow dot here, and the way I do it to speed up is I move, when I move these top two pieces, when you do that U2 move, I do that with these two fingers. So it's good to get used to that 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So that'll just speed your turning the top layer up just a little bit. So you do R U R prime, and then instead of re-gripping now, you keep your finger where it is and you push this one, and that gives your other U. Then you do your R, and then you've got to do your U2. I do that 1 2, and then move that one back down, and then that makes it a bit more re-gripless. Okay, you've got to start like this, but you'll just find the more you practice it, the quicker it will become. So I'll just get back, and again, once you do this algorithm, it's one of those algorithms, once you've got the yellow layer in place, if you do it a certain amount of times, it will recycle itself. So you'll see I'm back in the fish position, so I just do like that. And so when I go, so I'm back to the fish here with the dot. So, and I start to do the algorithm as I do the second R move. I do my U2 here, and I tend to hold my little finger down here rather than my third finger. You can do it with your third finger, but I just got used to doing it. I'm holding with my little finger, so this third finger is just kind of held out in place as I do the U2 move, and then straighten that back up to that position there. So and now back to the fish. So that's how to do soon very quickly. So that is soon, and that's the algorithm that you know anyway, but that will hopefully speed things up a little bit. Last two. This is anti-soon. So this is where the fish, you have the fish case, but you haven't got the yellow pointing towards you down here. And the way I solve this one, it's kind of the opposite of soon, and that's why it's called anti-soon. And you start by pointing the fish in the opposite direction. So normally it's pointing down to the left here. You actually get it pointing up to the right. So now the fish is pointing up to the right. I do R, U2, R prime. Then it's a U prime, R, and I do a U prime, but I do it with the thumb, and then finish with an R prime. So again, I start and finish in the same place with my hand up there. So I'll just get back into the same position. So you've now got the fish, but that hasn't got the yellow dot. You point it up there, and then you do R, U2, R prime, U prime, R prime, so R, U prime, R prime, and that then gets you into that then solves that yellow side. So let me just get into the same position. So again, you've got the fish down here without the yellow dot, point it to the top right, and then it's R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime to this position here. And again, you can do that really quite quickly. So, and if you want to practice it, you do soon one way and then you do anti-soon backwards. So now you'll see that I've just done the soon algorithm, and now I'm in that perfect position to go straight into anti-soon. So that's how I do it. So soon and then anti-soon. Oh no, I just did it again. And if you keep doing anti-soon or soon, you'll soon get yourself back in the soon position. So now I'm in soon, and now if I do soon again, now I'm in anti-soon. So I do soon, now I'm in anti-soon, and back to my solved yellow side. So that is soon and anti-soon. So I'm going to add this case into the mix because this uses soon and anti-soon. It used to be my least favorite case, but I just do it super quick now because I'm quite quick at doing both of those algorithms. So as long as you know soon and anti-soon, then you can solve this case. Now I call this, there are two bug cases, and this is the bug because I think this is the body of the bug and this is the head. And there are two bug cases. So from the top they look the same, but from the side one of them has headlights here and the other one has the yellow here and yellow here. So the two yellows facing away. So those are the two bug cases that you'll encounter. But this one is where you have the bug with the headlights. And all you're doing is soon followed by anti-soon. Now there are faster ways of doing this, but I tried to learn them, but I actually went back to this particular way because I know the moves, so I found them actually quicker to execute rather than learn a whole new algorithm. So it's up to you. You can look up different algorithms for this case, but because I'm going to teach you this will still be better than doing the soon over and over again, just to be able to get back to, just and wait till you've got your fish case, the normal soon case. So this one, you stick the headlights in front of you. So you headlights in front of you, and you've got the bug on top. So now you start by doing soon. Then you'll notice you've got the fish there. You move. There's one extra move, which is a U move, but you do it with this first finger. And the reason you do that is so that you can start straight into anti-soon straight after this. So you push that one over, and then you go straight into anti-soon. And that then solves the yellow side. So soon, U, anti-soon. So I'll just do that case once more. So you've got the bug, you stick the headlights facing you, and you do soon. Keep your fingers up here, do an extra U move with the first finger, and then do anti-soon. And you'll find you can do that algorithm quite quickly. So that quick to solve that yellow side. Once you get used to doing that algorithm, it's super quick. And again, it's one of those things that you can do. You can just keep repeating, and you'll eventually get back to your case, and then you just solve it. So that is once again, that's the yellow side using soon and anti-soon together. Here are your last two algorithms, and again, these two algorithms are really similar to each other, and the good news is they use moves that you already know. They actually use the sexy move and the sledgehammer, but in a slightly different way, so you'll just have to get used to it. We'll start off with the other bug case, where you've got the bug here with a head, but this time, instead of having the headlights at the front, they're actually, the yellow bits are either side of the head. So it's like the antlers coming out the head. This one, you do a fat, sexy move, followed by a sledgehammer, or a fat sledgehammer, and that then finishes that one off. I'll show you that again. That I just thought I'd give you a quick overview on that. Here we are again with the bug, with the yellow bits on the side, and it's not quite a fat sexy move, but it starts off. So it starts off with a fat R move. So it's a little R, U, R prime, U prime. And then you're in this position, and then you do a fat sledgehammer, or at least the first moves you do are fat ones. So you do an R, sorry, a little R prime, F, R, F prime, and that then solves the yellow layer. Once again, so you do little r, U, R prime, U prime, fat R prime, so little r prime, F, R, F prime, and that then solves the yellow layer. And actually, if you repeat this algorithm, you can get back to this case quite quickly. So you do the algorithm and to solve it, and then you can do it again, and then you get to the other case, which we'll have a look at in a moment, and then you'll do it once more, and then you'll be back in the bug case. And so then you do your fat sexy followed by fat sledgehammer, and that then solves the yellow side from the bug. So this is your final algorithm, and again this is virtually the same as the last one with a slight difference. And again, once you've done them a few times, you'll get to know the difference. This is called the bow tie, and that's because it kind of looks like a bow tie from this angle, like this. So all you need to do is orientate it, so not on this side. You've got to wait till you see yellow on this top right facing you. So you've got the bow tie up here and the yellow down here. So it does the fat sexy move followed by the fat sledgehammer, but it's the same amount of moves, but there's one extra move at the beginning and there's one less move at the end. So the extra move at the beginning is simply an F prime. So you do an F prime, then you do your fat sexy move like you did before, and then you do the sledgehammer, but you miss out the last move. So you go down and up, and there is no final F move. You don't need to do that because it's already done. So I'll just get back to that same position. So here you are in the bow tie position. You make sure you've got your yellow facing you here on the right. You do the F, then you do a little R, U, R prime, U prime, and then you do a fat R prime, F, and then finish with an R. So you don't need to do that last F prime. So it's super easy. And if you do, if you actually do this is the opposite algorithm to the bug algorithm. So if you do the bug algorithm, now it takes you straight back into the bow tie. So now you've got the bow tie with the yellow in front. So you do F prime, fat sexy move, and then fat sledgehammer minus the last move. So, and if you'll find these algorithms super quick to do, that quick. So that's all there is to it. You might get a little bit confused between the first last move, but after a while these will just become second nature. Hopefully you'll have realized that even though you've got a load of more algorithms to learn, they're actually, because of everything that you've learnt for the opening rounds with the sledgehammer and the sexy move, that these really help you out in this particular for the entire yellow layer, or OLL as they call it. That is the yellow side complete. Finally, we're on to PLL, which is the permutation of this last layer. So you've done the yellow side and you just want to finish this last row off here. And the bad news is that there are 6 algorithms to learn, but the good news is that they're not that hard. And especially this first one that I'm going to teach you is my favorite algorithm ever. It just has a really nice flow to it. We're going to start with the corners. All you're looking for, and the second part is going to be the edge pieces. So for the corners, you only need 2 algorithms. So that's good news. And for the last edge pieces, there are 4 different algorithms to learn. But as I say, I don't think they're that hard. And once you've trained them a little bit, I think you'll pick them up quite quickly. So you start off with the corners. And all you're looking for as you're looking around the cube is headlights. So in this case, you'll notice we have 2 headlights. So the 2 green pieces these 2 are known as headlights because they're 2 of the same. There are no other headlights on here. So this first algorithm, you put the headlights on your left hand side. So headlights on here, this side here. and then you do this following algorithm. It says R U R prime F prime R U R prime U prime, and this is where you regrip and grip here, and you do an R prime F R2 U prime R prime, and that sorts out all the corners. So it's that quick. I'm just going to do the algorithm again. You can just see there, I just did it there. It flows really nicely. So in this case now I've got two red headlights. I stick them on to this side here, and I'll run through the algorithm again slowly first. So R U R prime F prime, which you do with the thumb, R U R prime U prime, so that's a sexy move. Then you re-grip with this hand and go R prime F R2, so this turns all the way over here. Then you do a U prime and finish with an R prime. And you can see that puts the corners in place, and then you've just got to move this round until you can see all the corners are in the right place. So it's actually as simple as that. So I'm going to do it once more a little bit faster, just so that you can get to see how it looks a little bit faster. So get the headlights on the left hand side. As you can see, my hands just really flow with this one. I can just do it without even thinking about it. And headlights on the left. It's that quick. So that is getting the corners into place if you have two headlights. This is the second algorithm to get the corners in place. So the last one you had to look for headlights. This case is if there are no headlights. So there are no headlights, so none of the, there are no matching corners anywhere on this top row. So this is the algorithm I'm going to do. Now this is probably not the easiest algorithm, but it's the easiest one to learn. If you want to find a faster one, just look on the speed solving wiki and you'll find an easier one, but this I find the easiest to remember. So follow along with this. R prime U L prime U2 R U prime L, and then you repeat that sequence. R prime U L prime U2 R U prime L, until all the corners are in place. Let me do that one again. As you notice, you're doing the same thing twice. So it's R prime U L prime U2 R U prime L, and then you repeat that sequence. R prime U L prime U2 R U prime L, and there you can see all the corners in place. Now you'll notice that you have to do a bit of re-gripping, and that's the disadvantage with this particular algorithm. It doesn't flow very well, but because you're repeating the same moves twice, it's easy to remember, or easy-ish to remember at least. And I think it's easy to remember because it's quite an odd one. So I'll run through it again. All the corners in place, and I'll try and do that a little bit faster. And this is nice because you can just repeat it over again and it'll go from no corners to all corners. So a little bit faster. I always start with my thumb up here. And there you've got all the corners in place. So you're finally on the home stretch, and the only pieces you have to solve are the last few edge pieces. And there'll be 4 algorithms in total for you to learn. And if you've learnt the Stephen Brundage algorithm, where you just keep rotating those 3 around, then that will be one of the algorithms that I'm teaching here as well. So in that case, you've only got to learn 3. And I think the 3 are fairly simple. So the 2 types of situations are either you have every single edge to solve, so you can see every single edge on here at the top, the middle edge piece is wrong, or you have a bar on one side and then you have these 3 edges to solve, so the bar and the 3. So those are the only 2 situations, and within those 2 situations there are 2 again. There's 2 here, 2 for this case and 2 for this case. So we're going to start with the bar, because this is where you have the bar and these 3 pieces need to be solved, and they will either go clockwise or they'll go anti-clockwise. So in this case they're going clockwise. So this piece here, so the red and the yellow, needs to go over here, so the red. This blue piece needs to go here, and this orange piece needs to go back here. So as you can see, they're going from here to here, here to here, and here to here. So they're going in this clockwise turn as they get moved around. And that's the first one we're going to tackle now. And the algorithm to that, and I'll do this ever so slowly, is R2, U, then you do a sexy move, so R, U, R prime, U prime, then you do an R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime, and you'll notice that has solved this case and the cube is solved. So you will notice that this algorithm does have some regrips, but I try to do the regrips as I'm doing another move. So as I'm doing, so if my hands are here, if I'm doing this move, this hand will move ready to regrip up here. So it doesn't, there's one point where it doesn't, but that's because I do the sexy move so quickly that it just doesn't really matter. But let me show you. So I start with an R2, so R2, U flows nicely together. Then I regrip up here for a sexy move, and which we can all do quite quickly. R, U, R prime, U prime. Then as I'm doing that last U prime, my thumb's going up here, ready for the R prime, U prime move. And as I'm doing that U prime, my thumb is going back up top for an R prime, U, R prime, and that finishes off the cube. So you've got the bar at the back, and these are all going clockwise. So this one here, that one here, and that one over here. And the algorithm is R2U, sexy move, R prime, U prime, and then R prime, U, R prime. So let me do that at full speed. So that will be that quick. So once you've done that one a few times, you'll soon get the hang of it, and it's that quick. And if you do it, if you want to practice it over and over again, it will just keep cycling around those three pieces, that bar will always remain at the back. So you can do so, and if you do it again, and if you do it a third time, you'll get back to the start. So as you see, this one needs to go here, and you're back to your solved cube. So that's a good way of practicing these algorithms. So this next one is where you have the bar at the back, and these pieces are going in an anti-clockwise rotation. So in other words, this blue piece needs to go here in front, this red over here, and the orange back over here. So you're going in this, you're going backwards. So this there to there, there to there, there to there. So in that sort of rotation. And this is the same one as you've already learned if you'd learned the Stephen Brundage method. And this is the algorithm that he teaches that I still use. I just find it quite easy and quick. So it starts with an R and it's a U prime, and I do the U prime with my thumb. And if I'd learnt this nowadays, I probably would have been doing it with my finger because it's the better way of doing it. But I think I'm just in such a habit of doing it, I would do it with my thumb, because when I used to find it awkward to turn this side. I don't anymore, but because this is the way I started it, this is the way I still do it now. So it's R U prime, then I do an R U, R U, and then I continue with this one, R U prime, R prime, U prime, and then an R2 to finish. And that solves that case. Let me go over that again. So you've got the bar, and these are going anti-clockwise. And start with an R U prime, R U, R U, R U prime, R prime, U prime, R2, and that solves that case. Let me do that once more, but quickly. So once again, the bar and these three anti-clockwise, and that is that case sorted. So now we move on to the case where all of the edge pieces are wrong. And as I said earlier, there are two different cases here. One of them is where you are swapping these opposite pieces. So this green needs to go back here and this blue needs to go here. So you're swapping these two over, and you're also swapping these two over. So the red needs to go over here and the orange needs to go over here. So these are the opposite pieces. And this, I like this algorithm. This uses M slices. Now I showed you some M slices earlier, and there's a few different ways of doing them. Most people, when you start, it's probably just easier, if you're right-handed especially, with your right third finger, it just pushes that slice from the bottom. Later on, when you get faster, you can, nowadays I tend to do them with these two fingers, because quite often I need to do two in a row, and that's another way of doing it. But another way of doing it is where you're using these two fingers. So you go 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. So you've just got to find your own way of doing it, and I guess it depends how small your fingers are and whether you're left-handed or right-handed. So this is this algorithm. You'll see it above, and these two algorithms, so this first case is where you're doing the opposite two pieces, where you're changing these two and those two. This one is the easier one in my opinion, and I learn it rhythmically, but I'll go into that in a moment. So let's just start to go through it. So you do M2, U, M2, U2, M2, U, M2. I'll show you that again slowly. So it's M2U, M2U2, M2U, M2. Let's try that a little bit quicker. So you're doing the opposite. You're changing these two and those two. M2U, M2U2, M2U, M2. So the rhythm I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the rhythm I think of this one. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's, you'll find the easier one to remember out of these two. The next one's a little bit tricky, and again, I think once you start to play with it, you'll find your own way of doing it that suits you best. But I find that rhythm really helps me because that differentiates this one from the other one. So this is your very, very last case, you'll be pleased to hear. And this again solves all the edges, except instead of you're swapping the opposite ones as you were for the last two, you're actually swapping the diagonal. So so if I turn this one on its side, there you can see this red one needs to go here and this blue one needs to go over here. So these two have to swap over, and it's exactly the same with these two up here. This orange one needs to go here and the green one needs to go here. So you're swapping these two and those two. So these two and those two. So it's the diagonal ones, and that's how you recognize them. It's super quick, and if they're not aligned, so you just turn it until you have the two, so that you're aiming to solve the diagonal. You don't want to start this algorithm like this, because otherwise you're swapping these two over and those two will then be in the wrong place. So you do need to, you're swapping the one on this side in front of you with the one on your right here, and this one on the left side with the top one here. So these two and these two. And this algorithm again uses M slices, and it's a little bit longer than the last one, but again, once you get the sort of rhythm in your head, or at least that's how I do it, you'll find it quite easy to remember. And this one is M2 U, M2 U, M U2, M2 U2, M U2, and that has solved the cube. So let's do that again. So you're swapping these two pieces and you're swapping these two pieces, and it's M2U, M2U, MU2, M2U2, MU2. And again, you'll find with this one, once you get faster at it, you can do that at quite a pace. So let's do that again a little bit faster. So you can probably hear the rhythm there as I'm doing the moves. So I've got the slightly noisier cube here just so that you can hear the rhythm better. So it goes like this. In fact, we're swapping these two and those two. So let me do that again so you can hear the rhythm. So these two and those two need to swap. And that solves that case. And again, if you can recycle it around. And then you're back into your case. And then one final time. And you will have solved the cube. Hopefully this will all have helped, and you will now be able to solve the cube just a little bit faster.